don't know what it is, and I don't want to be like forced into a box, I guess.
When he face revealed, however, people on the internet started to get suspicious that may have been lying because people thought they looked similar. I need to put a disclaimer on this and say a lot of people have said his fans were the ones who were disappointed what he looked like, but in reality, it was also everyone outside of his fanbase who was making fun of him. A lot of people tend to make his way of responding on platforms very unprofessional or completely irrational the way he has bursts of anger a few minutes after any of these controversies have dropped. One lights a match, whether it's a liar. Do we put it out? We prefer the fire. More matches are lit, they become a flame. But the question is, who is to blame? Twitter. It can be used to communicate with people. Well, it can be extremely toxic as well. There are several people who have been a target on the app, but also one in particular has stuck out more in these past coming years. I'm talking about Dream. With over 31 million subscribers on YouTube, Dream has been known for his manhunt videos. He is also known as being an owner of the Dream Survivor multiplayer server, or DSMP for short. He is also known as the co-founder of Dream Branding, but more importantly, he is known as to be pretty controversial whenever people talk about him. Whether that person likes him or absolutely despises him due to past controversies, which we will talk about, and he is known to respond to people if they critic him. But my question is, has this hate mob become so big and so toxic towards one individual that it has clouded people's minds into reason? Take any Dream tweet, look through any of the quote retweets, and you'll find hundreds of accounts showing this behavior. My name is Flitch, and today I will take a deep dive into exactly what I mean by this. Now before I talk about this, there are 3 things that cause a chain reaction to the events I'm about to discuss. This didn't 100% come out of nowhere. It was something that people did have a right to be upset about. With that being said, here are the 3 scandals that happened. Basically what happened was he had a mod which makes it easier to get items he needed on his speedruns, and he forgot to turn it off for this particular thing. There are many suspicions whether or not he in fact cheated, and he even had someone look it up saying it was false. But after a while, it was proven he in fact cheated by accident. Feeling guilty, he dropped an apology saying he didn't know, and he was focused on being right, and even said he was being an asshole about it. He apologized. Now my thoughts are the fact if he said it was an accident, then I'll believe it until it was proven that it wasn't. You can't really know for certain, but this is just me. It's a Guinness World Record, which has been removed from his status, so I understand why people may have been upset about this. The fact of the matter is after he owned up to it, and it would have been worse if he didn't. Since then, people have brought this up so many times to show he can't be trusted with what he says, but the only thought I have is it happened, and it can't be undone. It's best to keep it in mind, but also not spam it as an example of him lying when he did tell the truth, looking into it better. Now this one I'll try to be as informative as possible, but I will not be speaking over anyone affected as I wasn't. I will give the information I know though, and context for it. He apologized for this, but it's up to POC to decide whether or not to forgive him. So to start this off, Dream has never been perfect, especially when it comes to racism. Around 2019, he made a very questionable edit towards black people, and he was overall being racist and using racist remarks until around when he started to get more popular. He explained how he grew up in an environment that thought what he said was okay. He also said YouTube did change him for the better, and has since learned to grow from these remarks. He has tried to uplift voices of POC, donated money for them, and also stayed in a Twitter space of his fans. hearing what they had to say about what happened and how they were affected. I believe he has gotten a lot better, and I'm willing to think that he has done what he can to help in any shape or form. He can't undo what he did, but he can uplift voices and try to be better. And this, I believe, now I'll try to put this in the best way I can because this topic is definitely touchy. There are 3 people who are affected: Dream, Durantize, and Smile Twitter, or Dream's fans, for short. So back when Dream was live streaming talking about these topics, he showed a screenshot of him replying to a tweet because they were accusing him of queerbaiting. In return, this person was rumored to be doxxed. However, this person has come forward saying they in fact did not. I'm not saying this is a good thing at all. And I'm not saying he probably should have replied like that, because in my perspective, it probably shouldn't have happened. He has become less known to reply to people that they have a lot less of a following, and I understand his frustration because people always, every day, accuse him of this. I will, however, admit Dream probably shouldn't have responded to this in a way that could have become a big backlash. So I'm sorry, but no. I also do want to give out screenshots of his fan being doxxed, and them having to lock their accounts because of one reason: Dream making any sort of announcement. Some have also sent gore, porn, and any inappropriate images when he has posted twinlongers. Because of this reason, Dream has started to put them in his private account. Although there is still antis in there, it's less likely people will be in danger. So, if this helps, then it's a good idea. This one I think he's been the most accused of, and it's become a thing where people have rumored for him to use acting queer towards his friends as clout. Over the last few years, Dream has been flirting with his friends on the internet. Now I will say, this is a tough topic mostly because I'm aware Dream has always felt uncomfortable talking about this because of a reason I'm getting into now. I will try to talk about this without throwing out assumptions, but I'll say what I've witnessed on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube. About over a year ago now, Dream responded to this in detailed form saying he was unsure about his sexuality. Later saying he may have considered himself as unlabeled, and later again saying he didn't have one.
Like, I don't think everything has to have, everybody has to have a label, I guess. And so people put me in unlabeled because I've said I'm not straight and that I don't really know exactly what I am. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm unlabeled. It just means like I don't necessarily know. I'm not completely comfortable in any label that I've seen, including unlabeled, I guess. Cause it's like, I don't know. I don't think that's accurate. I'm sure I have a label. I just don't know what it is. And I don't want to be like forced into a box. I guess. And who knows? Maybe a year from now or 5 years from now or whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, unlabeled does, that is where I belong.
But I don't know. I feel like that's that's one thing that people talk about a lot. Is like my sexuality and stuff. That's a big, I guess, like talking point. I get people pissed at me saying I'm like queer baiting and stuff for making jokes and for being very open like around my friends and stuff. But I mean, I kind of view it in the same way kind of that I right now, and that I view like my religion as an example. Like I say I'm agnostic because I'm not an atheist, because I don't say there's no God. I just like I don't know. And I view in the same way with my sexuality. Like I don't like to say I'm straight or to say I'm bi because I don't really know, and so I kind of just waiting to see if I find more.
People accusing Dream of queerbaiting also tend to not have seen the clip where he has stated he doesn't want to be forced into one category. Because if he does, for example, say he's bisexual and finds out later it's different, like pansexual or demisexual, then people will use that against Dream, saying it was another lie. His fans are supportive of this regard, and I'm glad especially in the last few months he's become more comfortable expressing his sexuality. Okay, so this one definitely is a tough topic, and the reason for that is because it's based off of accusations and basically people saying that Dream was catfishing. So I will try to go into this as much detail as possible, but I am blurring the photo, but I'm also going to be not showing any of the other things that were shown because it was a full-on dox and that just wasn't right. A while ago, this photo was posted across the internet saying it was Dream, and people were making fun of him because the person in question was overweight. When he posted about this topic, he explained how in the past he did deal with weight issues, but it was not him. When he face revealed, however, people on the internet started to get suspicious that they may have been lying, because people thought they looked similar. And quite frankly, I can see it, whether or not it is still a mystery. Dream is yet to talk about it further, but no pressure at all on him because, well, it is his privacy. The point is, people tend to dislike Dream, tend to use this photo as a way to make fun of him, and basically making fun of the fact he had this issue in the past. This point I find is just weird because from what I know, he has a full home gym and works out every day. Even if it is him in this supposed leaked photo, the way he is now should inspire people considering how much he lost regardless if the photo was him or not. I really don't think the point of spamming this photo is necessary, because if anything it shows encouragement that anybody can get their life together and become in better shape if they set their mind to it. Body shaming is common in the media, especially from people who dislike the person, and I've seen it countless times. So them continuing this is just not right. My god, this part was a shit show. I need to put a disclaimer on this and say a lot of people have said his fans were the ones who were disappointed what he looked like, but in reality, it was also everyone outside of his fanbase who was making fun of him. And when he didn't face reveal yet, there was even antis fucking shrimping for him when he posted this photo. No joke, this is an anti. But the second they did, all that simping went away and they did a 180 because he isn't a top model like they pictured. Sound familiar? People said it was his fans that were disappointed, but in reality it was everyone outside of it. Am I the only one seeing the problem in this? The person they claim to hate to not meet their standards, and all of a sudden they just go back to hating him? I don't understand this. He mentioned a while ago saying he has never been thinking he was a Greek god. He said he was an average looking guy. He never has thrown out huge high standards of himself, so people going out of their way saying he misled or lied have never seen a statement showing he was perfect. Nobody is perfect on their looks, and Dream never has put himself in high standards. I'm not saying either that he's a bad looking dude, I'm just saying in general, with any faceless content creator, you shouldn't be putting a picture of an anime character in your head. People also do not know and why he quote unquote looks different, so I'll include that as well. This first part was a speculation, so I forgive any misinfo on his behalf, so Dream, I apologize if this is wrong. Around this time, Dream had an incident of a collapsed lung and was constantly getting sick throughout that year. Whether or not that was the reason why he looked the way he did a few months ago, I don't expect someone to look their best after getting sick so many times and being inside the house most of the time since 2020. But there was also an interview he had where he said he hired a makeup artist to help him look better, and people also do need to keep in mind this was the first time being on camera, so the angle he had 80% of the time was the reason for that, because he was unexperienced with it. If people want me to be honest, this incident was unnecessary, and people who trended he's ugly and put the mask back on need to wake up and find out why this is wrong. Even if he is disliked, it doesn't give people a free pass to cyberbully somebody else's looks. I'm going off topic with this because it is relatable for me, so keep in mind when you're hearing this section of the video. A lot of people tend to make his way of responding on platforms very unprofessional or completely irrational the way he has bursts of anger a few minutes after any of these controversies have dropped. What they fail to point out though is that he does have ADHD. In case you don't know, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, is a condition where the person has a hard time paying attention and unable to sit still. What people don't know is there's a lot more to it. More symptoms include, but not limited to, memory problems, disorganization, interrupting conversations, unaware they do so, fidgeting, having emotional reactions under pressure, which can lead to hyperfocusing on those thoughts, hyperfocusing on one task and unable most of the time to do anything else, not sitting still, memory problems, a high creativity level, and so much more. After this video, I ask that you please look up more about it because it is a struggle for most to deal with, and because the population of people having ADHD has risen these days. It's hard to understand, but it's worth knowing that. I don't blame him for being unmedicated and talking about the fact he dumped his meds down the sink a long time ago. Okay, so quick update. Right when I was finished rendering this, Dream came out with this one tweet right here, and I just wanted to post that. I cut out a part of the video basically talking about the fact that it's fine the fact he's unmedicated. I want to quickly say something about that. I want to say that the reason why I said that is because I myself am unmedicated, and I've been trying my best to deal with all the bullshit that I've had to deal with ADHD. So I just figured I would say something like that right in the middle of this video, just to say that I didn't try to mislead or anything. The last thing I want to do is to spread misinformation on this video. It's happened too many times, and I really don't want that. So if I do spread any misinformation, please comment down below, and I'll try to put it into my update tweet. I'll look into it first, just in case, but I'll 100% pin it onto my YouTube comment section if possible. Because I myself have it and don't like taking meds. I haven't for years. I literally dumped my shit down the sink, I would say 8 years ago. The thing about ADHD, some people refuse to take it for many reasons, and for me it was because it zapped a lot of my creativity. I was constantly tired and I felt so depressed. I'm not saying either people shouldn't take medication for ADHD, I'm just saying in general that it wasn't for me and I'm okay with dealing with obstacles. Because of this, I sympathize whenever he has responded out of anger or out of nowhere and doesn't stop, because it is a big giant symptom. Whenever he has and people have explained why he does this, people will tend to make it as people making up excuses or condoning this kind of behavior. People don't talk about his ADHD more often than they should, and I wish they did. Dream is a clear example of people having it. It's why I also have more respect for the fact he doesn't hide it at all. Having ADHD has always been a struggle for some, especially me, and some more than others because they don't know how to overcome the obstacles that go with it. So this topic is going to be a little bit difficult for me because I do have to mention names and I really don't want to, but I'm probably going to have to because you guys probably need to have context for this. I do apologize for anybody I bring into this. I won't put out any actual names, but I will be talking about the incidents, so if you know who they are, I do apologize. I'll be putting incidents where people have made these expectations not matter, but other people, it did matter. In the past year, fan bases outside of his have been criticizing Dream over things he has done in the past. I will not name drop any of these content creators because the point of this video is not to cause drama towards them or have people dogpile like most have done to Dream. I will also ask, under any circumstances, not to attack these people if you know who they are, but to keep in mind 2 incidents that have gone for both Dream and them. So, incident 1. He has been called out saying he has been queerbaiting, and he has not been given a chance for people to watch the clips or screenshots I have shown this video. While the timing wasn't the best, as this was when people were calling out his racism, when he did, people were not okay with it. People took it as queerbaiting again, and still saying he was faking it. But a few months later, another CC came out as unlabeled, and people were praising him. As this person was in his circle at the time, Dream's fans were upset because they thought he was not treated fairly when he talked about it. My point is that the timing was most likely the reason, but at the same time, people should not be judged by their sexuality no matter what. Everyone is valid, and everyone deserves to love who they want. Incident 2. When Dream face revealed, people trending he's ugly put the mask back on, and and just kept showing different cartoon characters saying what he looked like. After this happened, many faceless content creators came forward saying they will not be doing a face reveal if this is how the internet treated Dream. Some put themselves down, saying if people react to this way to Dream, people are gonna think I'm hideous. This also put a lot of people down on the internet, making people feel awful about themselves, and even had people not wanting to show on the internet what they really looked like. But throughout this entire thing, the fan bases of those content creators were saying, we don't judge, it's just because he's Dream, we're allowed to make fun of him.
This is the thing, they're putting him next to the picture of any character. They've put him next to both Prince Charming and Human Shrek, both of which are people intended to be hot.
Am I the only one who sees the problem in this? I get people don't like him, but how is that a valid reason? So you're saying if your favorite content creator did the exact same things Dreams have been accused of, people are allowed to say the exact same thing? Does that not sound like a double standard? Dreams fans are probably the strongest I've known for how much shit they gotta go through on the daily for this, because they have to be constantly on the defense because people will exclude things from a lot of things. I want to say I do understand some frustration from how Dream has behaved in the past. But at the same time, I ask you this. Does he deserve a lot of the never-ending hatred towards him? Does he deserve having incidents not limited to being sent death threats, trying to force their idols to stop talking to him, have used Photoshop making him slimmer to trigger him and or other people, constantly harassing his fans, sending racist threats, have doxed him and his family, thrown a tracker on his family's car, and so much more? Does he deserve any of this? Is this okay at all? My answer? Absolutely not. He may fuck up, but he's a person like everyone else. He does not deserve the amount of shit he gets sent every day, no matter what. I'm not saying either to like him. Not everyone will, and that is fine. I'm just saying shit has gone too far and it's gone to the point of being ridiculous. If you don't like someone, do this simple thing. Block them. If you're on Twitter and see his name trending, there's an option to hide it. The cyberbullying has gotten out of hand, and although Dream has said it doesn't get to him, it's still not a free pass to do it. To end this video, I ask before you send out your next quote retweet to think about what you're saying. I ask if this is something you would not want to be sent, and I ask if you would say it to someone in person. That's all I have to say about this topic. I've been wanting to say this for months, and now that I'm doing it, because I've heard the opposite opinion so many times that I want to say my 2 cents. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll be seeing you later.